just you and me now, sport. I'm gonna find you, goddammit.
Hey, what is up, guys? Joe again, and I'm back with another movie review. I know I've been out, haven't done a movie review in about 2 weeks now. It's been struggling with allergies, and my allergies kind of just turned into sinus infection, and the sinus infection kind of turned into a respiratory infection. Pretty much to the point where if I talked for a length of time, I would find myself, coughing and gasping for air. My lungs were really congested, and I was just dying. I just couldn't breathe. So I was resorting to just uploading videos of, recent finds and stuff that I had picked up. But the entire time I was really just missing doing a movie review. I really wanted to do one real bad. And there's been a lot of movies I want to do, and I've just held off on them for a while. One of the films that I'm going to review today was high on my list of movies that I wanted to review since I started this channel. And I've held off on it, and I've said it in previous videos. I'm trying to put out the best reviews I can possibly do. So sometimes I feel like I have to watch a film, even though I may have seen it, 15, 20 times. I've got to watch it 2 or 3 times, consecutively, to really understand the film and give my best point of view on the film, especially if I hadn't seen it in a long time. So I had to do that with this film. I held off on it just because I wanted to really get my thoughts down and give the best review I could possibly give. So while I was sick, I had ample time to review this film, so I'm now ready to share my thoughts on Manhunter, why I enjoy this film so much. I also want to review the Scream Factory release of Manhunter, and it was released about 1 year ago. It's the collector's edition. It's an amazing release. It's loaded. It's got a ton of special features on it. I highly recommend that you get this. I will get into that. I also recently picked up the VHS release. This is one of the very early releases on VHS. I actually absolutely dig this cover art. It's badass. I'm trying to find a 27 by 41 inch poster of this image. I can't find it under $100. It's a very limited poster. But if you know where you can find this poster, where I can get it for a good price, let me know in the comment section. I'm definitely willing to buy it. So yeah, guys, let's just go ahead and dive into this Blu-ray release by Scream Factory. So like I said, this was released about 1 year ago, and it is a very loaded release. It's got newly commissioned artwork on it, which I find to be really cool. And then the inside's got the original VHS cover art. Pretty cool stuff there. It is a 2-disc release. So on the first disc, you have the theatrical version, the R-rated version. And on disc 2, you got the director's cut, the unrated with HD standard definition inserts. So what they did was, you get in the special edition director's cut, you get basically the same film in HD, but you also get the scenes that were cut out from it, and they inserted them back in the film in standard definition. It's unfortunate that they didn't put reinsert them in high definition. They seem to be doing that a lot lately. To be quite honest with you, you're not really missing out on much. It's not even really that noticeable because they kept the color. The color is pretty much the same. So when it transfers to standard definition, you're not. I mean, it's noticeable, but it's not really that noticeable. It's not like an eyesore or anything. And for the most part, these additional scenes are dialogue that they cut out of the film to basically, keep the running time. Keep the run time for the movie theaters. So you're not really missing much, to be honest with you. It's not like you're losing some significant plot or anything. But anyways, on disc 1 you get new interviews with director of photography Dante Spinotti and actors William Peterson, Tom Noonan, and Joan Allen. That is an amazing documentary. It's so insightful. You just learn so much about the behind-the-scenes stuff, the interactions between the different actors. Awesome documentary there. You get the music of Manhunter, including interviews with composer Michael Rabuni, Barry Andrews from Shriekback, Barry Putnam from the Prime Movers, and Rick Schaefer of the Reds, and Gene Stuchik from Red 7. I love the soundtrack to Manhunter. I find myself from time to time, even when I'm driving to work, I'm getting myself in the mood. I work in law enforcement, so this is in this movie kind of makes me feel like I'm Will Graham when I'm watching it. When I'm on work, I'm trying to get in the mood, I'm getting ready for work, I drive to work and I think about Manhunter, and I'm listening to the soundtrack on the way to work. I don't actually own the soundtrack, but what I do is I stream it from YouTube, and I listen to it a lot. I don't not listen to it every day, but I don't know, when I'm in the mood to watch the film, or I've just been thinking about it, I'll pop it in or whatever. But anyways, the soundtrack to Manhunter is absolutely awesome. It's very haunting at times. It sets the mood very well in different scenes in the movie. It definitely adds to the atmosphere of the film. But yeah, that's a really good documentary. It talks about the production of the soundtrack and what Michael Mann was looking for to build suspense in the movie. He kind of spoke to these different musicians and said, okay, this is what I want to have in the film. This is what I'm trying to build here. And then they basically developed the soundtrack to kind of fit what Michael Mann was looking for. And I found that to be very fascinating. We also get theatrical trailer, still gallery. Now on disc 2, you get audio commentary with writer and director Michael Mann. I haven't had a chance to watch that, but I would, or listen to the commentary, I'm sorry. But I'm definitely going to watch it next time with the commentary. I don't often listen to the commentaries. Sometimes I do, it depends. I'm so fascinated by this movie, I don't even know if I'd be paying attention to the commentary, to be quite honest with you. It would just be kind of like I'm so focused on the movie that I'm probably just barely even hearing what's going on. But I'm going to check it out. I'm listening to the commentary on this, so I can't really say too much on that. The director's cut and standard definition, like I said. Manhunter, a look and conversation with cinematographer Dante Spinati. I haven't seen this yet. I'm sure it's pretty good. You get Inside Manhunter with stars William Peterson, Joan Allen, Brian Cox, and Tom Noonan. I've heard other people review about it. They said that it's just basically the actors talking about their experiences working together, what it was like developing the characters. Tom Noonan talks about, you know, him playing the Red Dragon, him playing Tooth Fairy, basically how he avoided some of the characters just so that way when they were revealed in their scene, when they actually confronted each other in the movie, it was kind of suspenseful and unexpected. I found it to be really fascinating, to say the least. But anyways, guys, this thing is absolutely loaded with special features. This is probably the most loaded Blu-ray release as far as collector's editions go that Scream Factory has done to this point. I own many of the Scream Factory releases, and this is like absolutely loaded, okay? They put so much work into this. You can tell that Scream Factory is a huge fan of this movie, and rightfully so. I know many people love this film. This is a sentimental piece in my collection, okay? When I think about movies in my collection that stand out to me, this is one of the films that stand out to me, okay? I think about action films, I think of this. I think about crime thrillers, I think of this. I think about serial killer movies, I think about Manhunter. I'm always drawn. It's like when I can't find something to watch, alright, let's throw on Manhunter. It's just one of those films that I can watch endlessly over and over and over again and never get bored with it. I just love this movie. And I love this Blu-ray release. I hope it gets a 4K transfer. I hope we get that in the future. I'd scoff it up in a heartbeat. But anyways, guys, that is my thoughts on the Blu-ray release from Scream Factory. An awesome release. I highly recommend it. Go and check it out. It's the best it's ever looked. Picture quality is amazing. Sound quality is amazing. I mean, you just can't beat this. Alright, now on to the VHS release. I understand not everybody owns VHS tapes anymore. Not everybody's collecting VHS tapes, but I thought I'd share this with you all. This is my copy of Manhunter on VHS tape. I collect VHS tape. I love them for nostalgia reasons. This is the format that I grew up on when I used to go to video stores, so I pick up the films that I just love a lot from when I was a kid. So I had to pick it up. I just got this last week, if you've seen one of my reviews. I just love this, this cover art here. It says, "Enter the mind of a killer. He might never return." Yep. Absolutely awesome. This is the poster I'm trying to find. And then on the back it says, "It's just you and me now, sport." God, I love that part of the movie where he says that. It's like the perfect timing, you know, you see his challenges in the film, how he's struggling to find this guy, and he's really getting in the head of the Tooth Fairy. And then when he says this, it's kind of like bone chilling. You realize it's kind of like, it's make or break time now. It's like it's go time, I have no choice, I have to find this guy, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I just love that part. But yeah, I mean, it's got the standard write-up on it. Really good release. I like to find the most early releases I can find because I think it's really cool when you watch the previews on these old VHS tapes. It kind of gives you some insight of what's going on at the time. And oftentimes they'll talk about like real world events that coincide with this movie. So there might be like something going on that happened to be going on when this movie was released. Or they'll show like random people at the movie theater like scrambling to get in the movie theater when this is being released. And I dig that stuff up. I love it. I love the hell out of that. So that's pretty much why I buy VHS tapes. I kind of like it for the nostalgia reasons. Kind of like to see these old commercials. And then it's cool just to watch it on its original format. But yeah, guys, that is Manhunter. Awesome release on VHS tape. I got this for actually pretty cheap. It was about, I think, $7 or $8 on eBay. And it's in fairly good condition. It's probably, it's not in mint condition. It's got a couple scuffs in the corners, but for the most part, it's in excellent condition. And I put them in these little like protective sleeves, keep them protected. All right, guys. So those are my thoughts on the Blu-ray release from Screen Factory, and then this VHS tape release that I picked up last week. All right, Manhunter is an amazing film. The movie is just brilliant. The directing's brilliant. You know, Michael Mann's suspense, the way he builds suspense in this film is incredible. The music and the lighting in this film is really cool. You get, you know, the lens flares. You get just like this really cool color palette. It's kind of like a bluish tint on some of these scenes. And then the music, the way that music works with the film, just builds suspense. It's got really awesome like synth music from the 80s that I really dig. The characters in this movie are awesome. You get William Peterson as Will Graham. So we all know this is basically an adaptation from the novel Red Dragon. So the novel was made before, and then they made this film, and they changed the title to Manhunter because they didn't want the public to think that this was some kind of kung fu movie. So they changed the title to Manhunter. And to be quite honest with you, I'm always going to love the novel Red Dragon. It's going to have a place in my heart for the rest of my life. I love that novel. I like the Red Dragon, the actual, you know, remake of this movie. I like that movie as well. But I think Manhunter is a better title because it's not a story about, it's really not about, you know, it's not about the Tooth Fairy. He's the central serial killer in this movie that they're trying to find. But I personally see this movie, it's Will Graham's story. He's the Manhunter. He's the one, it's all him. It's centered around him. It's him getting into the mind of, you know, the serial killer. Getting into the mind of the Tooth Fairy. And that's what I enjoy about this film. I am a criminal justice major. I went to school and studied similar things when I was in college. And I've had to write books about, you know, criminal theory, and I've studied a little bit of you know, criminology and that sort of thing. I was always fascinated by serial killers, not because of like, you know, the sickening things about it, but I was fascinated behind, you know, criminal psychologists and how they're able to get into the mind of serial killers. They're able to profile killers and kind of uncover what they do and what their patterns are, their patterns of behavior. And we see that a lot in this film. We see Will Graham basically following in the footsteps of the Tooth Fairy, probably played by Tom Noonan, who does an amazing job as well. Will Graham's constantly battling his past experience with Hannibal Lecter. So we see kind of like some brief scenes of Hannibal Lecter in this film. So we already know Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs, the Hannibal movie, you know, the Hannibal franchise. This is basically the beginnings of the Hannibal series. Okay, this is the first. I wouldn't call it the first Hannibal movie because it's really not Hannibal's story. It's got a little Hannibal in it. He's a minor character. It's Will Graham's movie, but this was the first movie to actually introduce us to Hannibal Lecter. He's kind of got a small role in it. He factors into this movie, but like I said, this is Will Graham's movie. So, in short, I don't want to, you know, sit here and reveal the movie, because some movies I'll like to sit here and talk about and kind of tell you a good rundown on the movie. Some reviews I'm going to do that. But the movies like this that are like centerpieces in a lot of people's collections, I'm not going to talk about them. because I want you to go out and watch this. I'm going to give you enough to sink your teeth into, to get you excited to watch this movie. But you need to go out. This is a movie that deserves to be seen, and not, it's one of those films you don't want to know about anything about going into. It will remove the awe factor of seeing it for the first time and not going into it, you know, basically going into this review being a virgin, going into this movie watching it for the first time. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give you a tease, enough for you to sink your teeth into, enough for you to get excited to want to go see it. And then when you see it for the first time, you're going to enjoy it just like I did when the first time I seen it. And this film will blow you away, okay? Now, it was filmed in the 80s. There is some stuff in this film that's dated, but it's expected for an old film. It was created in 86. It looks like a film that was filmed in 1986. It's gritty at times. There's scenes that are dark, but then you get some really well polished, well filmed scenes that are, you know, the color palette in this is amazing. It just looks really colorful. It's kind of weird. It's almost like a giallo film. If you've seen any of Dario Argento's films, I own several of his films. It kind of reminds me of, like, some of the scenes are kind of like Suspiria a little bit. Kind of weird. It's got kind of like a color thing going on with it. Very stylish. That's kind of Michael Mann's thing. He loves adding really cool music, making his films really flashy, and his colors are really cool. His use of the colors, I do that a lot. But yeah, this film is one of those films that it'll suck you in from the beginning and it won't let go to the end. And so, brief little teaser into this film. Will Graham is basically a detective, and he is he's like damaged goods, okay? He's done all these high-profile cases. He caught Hannibal Lecter. That was kind of like his call to fame. He was the one that got Hannibal Lecter, okay? So when we see the beginning of Silence of the Lambs, this is kind of a prequel to Silence of the Lambs. This is how, it doesn't tell you how he caught Hannibal Lecter, but this basically takes place after, this takes place before Silence of the Lambs. So anyways, Will Graham is the one that caught Hannibal Lecter. So he's a well-polished detective. Now, they've got a new case. They need to find this guy named Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy is, you know, he's very elusive. He's likes to leave his teeth imprints and things. He's writing letters to Hannibal Lecter. He's very fascinated by Hannibal Lecter. He sees himself as kind of like a student of Hannibal Lecter, so to speak. But he's got this asphyxiation with his eyes and visually seeing things. So Will Graham kind of understands this as a profiler. He understands serial killers a little bit, and he knows, all right, there's something going on with this serial killer in his eyes and the way he perceives things. So throughout the film, we see Will Graham, you know, going to these crime scenes, looking at evidence and kind of trying to get into the head of the serial killer. Tom Noonan is a very convincing, creepy serial killer. You've probably seen him in Heat, another one of Michael Mann's films. He was in RoboCop 2. He was recently in a horror film that got released, I want to say 2010 or 2011. It was called House of the Devil. Really cool, retro, throwback horror film. But Tom Noonan is just a very versatile actor. He does an amazing job in almost every role he plays. So he definitely does a good job in this movie. William Peterson, though, I swear to God, this guy is... This, hands down, in my opinion, is probably his best film he's ever been in, okay? I love pretty much everything William Peterson does, but his portrayal of Will Graham is... I'll just put it this way, it's kind of what made me want to become a criminal justice major and eventually becoming in law enforcement. His role got me excited about what I do in my career. And that's for a separate day. I'm not going to talk about what I do. It's kind of personal, but yeah, it's left me, this film and Will Graham's portrayal, William Peterson's portrayal as Will Graham is kind of what made me want to become a criminal justice major and do law enforcement. And I think that's always going to be with me forever. And he does an amazing job. It's very haunting at times. You feel like he's damaged goods. You feel sympathetic for him. He's just a tortured soul. It's like he's torn because he wants this family life. He's burned out. I mean, he's so damaged from what he experienced and the psychological, damage that he received from hunting Hannibal Lecter. And now he's on this new case, and he doesn't want to go back to that dark place. To have to get into the mind of this new killer. And he doesn't want to put his family through it. And so you feel that pain inside of him, I feel like, at times when you're watching this film. And that's what makes this film so good to me. And, you think about what real life law enforcement and criminal psychologists, what they go through, and the expertise they have in finding criminals and tracking these people down and putting the pieces together. And I've always found it to be fascinating. And this film, like I said, it just does that for me. That's what I like about this film. It's not about Hannibal Lecter, although I do enjoy Hannibal Lecter in this film. Brian Cox, I personally enjoy his portrayal of Hannibal Lecter more than I enjoy The Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal Lecter, these other Hannibal films. I enjoy Brian Cox's Hannibal Lecter over these other films. Not to say I don't like these other Hannibal Lecter films, but his Hannibal Lecter is, in my opinion, the better portrayal. It's a little bit more subtle and more creepier. I feel like it was kind of over the top in Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal. It is more Hollywood hype. In this movie, it's more toned down a little bit, more refined. It's more realistic to what a psychopath would be. Brian Cox does an amazing job. But yeah, that is my rundown of this. Just an all-around amazing film, well directed. Michael Mann does an amazing job. The picture and the quality in this film's awesome. The soundtrack's awesome. It's one of those films that will suck you in from beginning to end. And I highly recommend this film, okay? It's awesome. You need to check it out. Those are my thoughts on Manhunter. Short but sweet. I'm not going to give away too much. I thought about it when I was sick and how I want to move forward with reviews. I don't want to reveal too much about the movies anymore. I want to keep it minimal. Sometimes less is better. And some films I'm probably going to go in more in depth with, and some films I'm not going to tell very much, because I feel like you need to go out and watch it. It's best to experience something for the first time with your own eyes instead of having somebody tell you about it before you actually see it. I'm going to give you some thoughts, some things to sink your teeth into, but I hope my review of Manhunter was enough to make you satisfied to want to go watch it without revealing too much about the film. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on Manhunter. I absolutely love this movie. I hope you enjoy my review. I hope you go out and watch this film because it is an amazing film. After talking about it, I'm probably going to watch it again tonight. I'm going to watch it now on VHS. Because I just got this VHS tape, so I want to watch it for the first time. I watched it briefly for like 10 minutes, but I got really tired because I was sick, so I didn't get a chance to watch it all the way through. I think I'm going to watch the entire film tonight on VHS tape. I'm going to sit back, put a couple Cool Boys back. Now I'm in the mood. I'm starting to feel a little better. But yeah, guys, that's my review of 1986's Manhunter. Awesome film. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. What are your personal experiences with Manhunter? Why do you like Manhunter? Where does it rank amongst the other Hannibal films? If you're not a subscriber to my channel and you like this video, go ahead and subscribe for future content. I would greatly appreciate any and all support. As a reminder, I'm still doing my 100 subscriber giveaway. Once I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away 4 amazing films. Okay? These 4 films, I think, are very good pieces to add to anyone's collection, and that's why I picked them out. You're going to get the 4K release of Prometheus, an awesome film, one of my favorites in the Alien franchise. You're going to get the Scream Factory Collector's Edition of Misery with the slipcase, still sealed. Awesome film. It's not one of my favorite Stephen King films, but I think it's an amazing film, and it's a great movie to have in your collection. The Blu-ray release of Shallows. I love shark movies. I'm going to be doing a hell of a lot of shark movies this summer. You can best believe that. And The Shallows is a really good movie in the shark movie collection. Good movie to watch on a date night. Highly recommend it. And then the last film I'm going to give away is one of my all-time favorite movies, and that is The Lost Boys. I love The Lost Boys. I can't wait to do a review on it. I'm so excited. It's one of those films I'm going to have to watch and watch and watch to hype myself up for. But yeah, guys, those are the 4 movies. Just to recap: 4K release, Prometheus; Collector's Edition from Screen Factory of Misery; The Shallows, Blu-ray release; and The Lost Boys on Blu-ray. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is, once I hit 100 subscribers, I am going to get all the names that I've gotten from this point until I reach 100 subscribers. I'm going to take all those names and I'm going to put it in a random name generator, and then I'm going to do a video, and the night that I do the video, I'm going to announce the name of the person, the first person it gives me in this random name generator. I'm going to reach out to the person, and I'm going to ship that package out with those 4 movies. I'm going to expedite it to them. Yeah guys, it's going to be an awesome night, and I'm super excited to get to 100 subscribers. So please, if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. I am trying to expand. I'm trying to attract more people. So if you want those 4 movies, go ahead and drop a like in this comment on this video. Leave me a comment and become a subscriber. And also, if I can't see you subscribe to my channel, I can't enroll you in this 100 subscriber giveaway. You got to make it so that I can see you as a subscriber. Okay? That's very important. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, hang in till next time. Until next time guys, take it easy.